Hello everyone, welcome to Pam's Passions. I created this page to share with you some of the things I enjoy: makeup, cooking, real talk. I welcome your feedback and I'm open to your suggestions for future videos. If you have any color combinations you'd like to see, a meal you're interested in watching me prepare, just let me know. I'm also happy to answer questions you may have. Alright now, let's get started.
It's been a long time, I shouldn't have left you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Pam's Passions. Yes, it's been a long time and for that I apologize. Today we're going to start a series on testing recipes that I've seen either on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm just going to give you my rating and let you know if it's as easy as it seems on that 30 to 60 second video, and ultimately if it tastes good. So today we're going to start out by making a shrimp BLT sandwich. So I have a pound of shrimp here that they've already been peeled and deveined and cleaned. So we're just going to mince them up and season them with some Creole seasoning. Okay, so now we have our shrimp all minced up. I'm just going to put it in a bowl so that we can add some Creole seasoning to it. I'm a big fan of Creole seasoning because it's a blend that's already mixed up. It usually has garlic, onion, lemon pepper, a bunch of different things. So if you're not familiar with what seasonings go together, a good seasoning blend is always the way to go. For those of you that are watching your salt, you just want to look at the amount that's included in there and make sure you don't add any additional. Now that we have that all seasoned, we're going to take our ring and form our shrimp patties. In the video, the chef says that he forms them and puts them in the freezer for about 20 minutes for easier cooking. So we're going to get these formed, get these into the freezer, and then we'll move on to making our candied bacon. Okay, so we have our shrimp patties in the freezer getting formed, and one of the toppings for the BLT is the bacon. So we're going to try to make some brown sugar candied bacon in the air fryer. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to take 3 slices of thick cut bacon and cut them in half. We're going to sprinkle them with a little brown sugar, and we're going to try out the bacon setting on the air fryer. If this doesn't go well, we will make some in the oven the way he did in his video. So I'd say we're using about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar for these 3 slices. So we just sprayed the inside of the air fryer with some cooking spray, and we're laying our slices down in there, trying to give them some space so that the air can flow freely around each piece. And it looks like it's going to cook for about 6 minutes. So we have our B going for our BLT, and next would be the L, which is just lettuce. So we have that clean and prepped, and now we're going to do our tomatoes. So I have 2 Roma tomatoes that we're going to slice. They've been cleaned. And he just tossed them with a little bit of rice wine vinegar. So I'm going to do the same, and we're going to add a little Italian seasoning. No need for any salt because we have the bacon, which is going to add salt to the food, and there's also salt in the Creole seasoning. Do a few shakes of rice wine vinegar and then a little bit of Italian seasoning. But you can season your tomatoes however you like. And then the last accompaniment that we're going to make for our sandwich would be some dressing. I'm not a big fan of just plain old mayo, but I do like sriracha mayonnaise. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. and a half a tablespoon of sriracha. I'm doing a half because I'm not a fan of overly spicy things, but if you want yours spicier, just add more sriracha. And then I'm going to add a few shakes of lemon pepper seasoning. And we're just going to whisk that up. That'll be our dressing for our sandwiches. And then our next step would be to check on our shrimp to see if our patties are formed and get them breaded and ready to go into the fryer. Okay, so our candied bacon is ready. Let's give it a look. I would say that that's a success. I just want to say that I did have to add a little bit of time to it. So overall, this bacon cooked for 8 minutes in the air fryer. But I will say that I will definitely use this way in the future because the air fryer is one of the easiest appliances to clean, and I'm all about easy. So there we go. Our candied bacon is all ready for our sandwiches. So we all know it wouldn't be a Pam's Passions video without a Pam's Passions cocktail to go with our meal. So we have a nice light summer sandwich. So to pair it, we're going to mix a green tea and tequila cocktail to go with it. So we're going to start with some Teremana Añejo tequila, which is one of my favorites. It tastes great and it's not expensive. So I have 1.5 ounces of tequila. If you want it stronger, you can always add more. We're going to top that off with the green tea. And this is the citrus flavor green tea. And just for a little garnish, we're going to do a little slice of lemon and some mint. But we're just going to give that a stir. And you see I have my big ice cubes in the glass because they melt slower and they won't water down your drink. And shout out to my planter box because I just went outside and got this mint that I grew. Let's give it a sip. That's delicious. And now we're going to prep to make our batter for frying our shrimp patties. So we're going to mix 1 cup of flour with 1 cup of water. And we're just going to whisk that together. And this is a little thick, so it looks like we're going to add about 1/2 cup of water to this batter because we don't want it to be too thick. Okay, and then for the rest of the batter, we're going to mix together some cornmeal, a little bit of cornstarch, and some tahin. In the video, it wasn't really clear what he used to batter, so this is just what I came up with, and we'll see how it works. You could also try some fish fry seasoning or whatever you use to batter. I would just keep it light so that you can taste the shrimp and everything else on your sandwich and not a bunch of breading. And one last tip, if you're going to use the fish fry seasoning, they usually have a lot of sodium in them, so you just want to watch out for that. If you choose to use that, then I would not season the shrimp with the Creole seasoning ahead of time. I like the tahin seasoning because it gives us a little zest of citrus mixed with some chipotle, some smoky flavor. All right, so our shrimp patties should be nice and frozen and formed. So we're going to dip them, batter them, and get them ready to fry. Okay, so the forming of the patties took a little longer than expected, but I will make sure to give you times included in the recipe. So now we have our shrimp patty ready. We're going to take it, we're going to dip it in our flour and water mixture, and then we're going to dip it into the cornstarch and cornmeal, and then into the fryer. We're going to fry this for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then we'll be ready to assemble our sandwiches. And we're back. So to switch things up a little bit, I fried one of our shrimp patties with the flour and water mixture dipped in the cornmeal, and then I did one just in the flour and water mixture. I seasoned them both with the Creole seasoning when they came out of the fryer, because you should always season your fried foods when they come out of the grease. And now we're going to assemble our sandwich. We'll give it a taste and we'll see which one we like the best. So we're going in with some sriracha mayo on our toasted buns. Okay, so we have our sriracha mayo on our buns. We have some clean Boston Bib lettuce. Our tomatoes that have been soaking in the rice wine vinegar and Italian seasoning. And we're going to put the candied bacon on the top. And then this is our patty that was dipped in the cornmeal. And this is the one that was just in the flour and water mixture. That's a big sandwich. So I'm just going to slice this in half. I'm using a serrated knife so that I can get all the way through everything and not destroy the sandwich. We're going to give each of these a taste and see which one we like best. So we're going to go with the flour and water mixture one first. It's nice and crispy. The shrimp is still juicy. You get the heat from the sriracha mayo and a little tang from the rice wine vinegar. And to top it off, you have the sweet from the brown sugar on the bacon. Now we're going to go for the cornmeal one. The cornmeal is just as crispy. It adds a little bit more flavor to it. So I would say you go with what your preference is. I think that I'm going to lean towards just the flour and water mixture. It's nice and crispy and it makes for a lighter sandwich. For ease of preparation, I would rate this recipe a 4 out of 5. A few tips that I have is to leave the shrimp patties in the freezer for about an hour so that they can really form. And that's based on the thickness of your patty. But I would give it a 4 out of 5 just because of the number of steps. It is just a sandwich that you're making, but there are a few components that you have to put together to get to that final product. Taste-wise, 5 out of 5. It's a great combination. I never would have thought to add shrimp to my BLT, but I'll definitely be making this one again. Try it out and let me know what you